beach. You never come back again. The place is
Forget you.
Crazy old man.
We're gonna go down to the lake. We'll be totally, perfectly, 100% safe and fine. We're gonna go down there and smoke some grass
Drink some alcohol.
and have
Free
marital sex.
That was so funny. We sure are having fun at the lake.
Yes, we are. Nothing possibly bad could happen to us here.
No, never.
So, we should make with the sex.
I don't think I'm drunk enough yet.
But I have some weed that could help you loosen up. Wait, is this one in 3D? Oh, well. We should probably do this while we're young and irresponsible.
Okay.
Please, no, Jason. Don't kill me. Because I'm a virgin? Thank you, Jason.
Welcome to the Opinionated Monsters. Of course, this is Friday the 13th, and we wouldn't let this one go by. And so today, we're talking about our favorite moments in the movies Friday the 13th. I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch any of the movies except for Jason versus Freddy. Because truly, to be really honest with you, I watched it for Freddy. So I'm going to move my next little bit right over to Kevin because I have nothing else to say about the genre.
So you've never seen any of them?
Except for Freddy versus Jason. I don't watch them because I never got into the idea of the horror movie with just a lot of TNA and slashing. I like horror movies for a different reason. I'm one of those guys that doesn't watch them for the tits and ass. I watch them for a good storyline and also for something that's going to scare me. None of that stuff scares me. A slasher doesn't scare me at all.
Did you at least enjoy some of Freddy versus Jason?
From what I remember of Freddy and versus Jason, I think I only enjoyed Freddy, and that wasn't even really enjoyable. It was a tanker as far as I was concerned.
Okay, so my favorite Friday the 13th moments, I'd say my absolute favorite moment is Corey Feldman smacking him in the face with a machete and him hitting the ground and watching his brain pan shift as he slides down the machete. For me, seeing that end essentially was really, really incredible that they fought so hard to sort of get that practical effect in. Even Tom Savini said it was one of the better effects he's ever done. So, but ironically, the other top moment for me is when they bring him back from the dead and change Jason from not being a mindless slasher, which is probably the thing that kept you away from it all these years, and turned him into a bona fide monster. When they actually turned him into a monster, I think, I think that the series sort of took a nice little turn. Some of my favorite moments, though, were definitely not just the killings or Jason himself. I thought in the horribly done Part 5, A New Beginning, they have a little goth girl doing the robot, sort of like street dance robot, to some weird new romantic keyboard band. It's the weirdest combination of elements to put together into one. And then, of course, I'd have to say my other top moment is Jason ripping the body of Crispin Glover down when he's stapled to the outside of a frame of a door while he's pursuing someone else.
Wait a minute. Crispin Glover.
Yes!
Friday the 13th.
And he
He was in
dances.
Friday the 13th.
All right. Now, I'm just going to say this, and I normally would never... this is on record, so I guess I'm stuck with this for eternity. But if Crispin Glover was in a Friday the 13th movie...
He is.
I may have to view that one at least.
So I guess that brings us to you.
Okay, so my favorite moments. Now, credit where credit is due. This was the guy who introduced me to the entire series. So it goes way back. But for me, my favorite moments in it, just going from, I'll go from the front forward, go kind of chronologically. Number one, Kevin Bacon. Steak and bacon.
Steak and bacon.
Steak and bacon. Kevin Bacon getting the arrow through the throat. Brilliant. And also fun to see Kevin Bacon die. I bet you that's one of those movies that Kevin Bacon doesn't put on his resume. My number two moment comes from part 3, actually. And that is the machete in the head to the guy in the wheelchair who then rolls down the stairs. Is that part 2?
Part 2.
Part 2.
So, well, Jason's an equal opportunity killer.
He
so
is, exactly. He doesn't, exactly. He's an equal opportunity killer. He doesn't care. So that was the one that blew my little teenage mind
I'm
when
gonna
I saw
say
that
it.
one.
Heels on wheels.
Because, I mean, let's face it, we really watch Jason movies. We don't watch Jason movies to be scared. Jason isn't scary other than
Like
the
you said.
fact that conceivably there could be this unstoppable killer coming at you. Really, though, what you do watch Jason for is, aside from the TNA, you watch it to see how many different ways we can eviscerate a human body. And believe me, they have found lots and lots and lots of ways. Which brings me to my number 3 moment. David Cronenberg, Canadian director David Cronenberg, and as viewers of the show will know, I love Cronenberg. Watching him get that pole to the chest in Jason 10 pretty much made it all worth it for me.
Jason-
Just that moment alone made it for me.
What about you, Jess?
So I actually really like that they keep sort of a sense of humor to the movies. I think that's really important because, I mean, so many horror movies do take themselves too seriously. One of my favorite Jason kills, but also probably one of my favorite kills in a movie ever, happens in Jason 10, Jason in Space.
Jason X.
Jason X.
When he grabs the woman and drags her over to this vat of liquid nitrogen, shoves her face in, she's screaming, and flash freezes her entire face. But he is not done. Oh no. He pulls out that frozen face and smashes it against the countertop. Absolutely brutal, absolutely just brilliant.
I know, it's like
love
co-ed
it.
cubes.
I loved it. One of my other favorites, and this is going to sound terrible because I keep picking literally the worst movies. One of my favorite deaths is in Jason Takes Manhattan, or as I like to call it, Jason shows up in New York for 3 seconds and nothing really happens. But when he's on the roof with the guy, and the guy's sort of punching at him, trying to take him down. I mean, at this point, it's not a question of, oh, is he going to die? It's how is he going to die?
Yeah.
And Jason punches his head right off. Now, I know that sounds a little corny, but you know what? When you think about it, how much force does it take to remove a human head? Skin tears at about 250 kilometers an hour. To cut through the muscle tissue, you're looking at upwards of 1,000 kilometers an hour.
I don't know. I get a little nervous that you know these
You
numbers.
should be.
I know.
But what I love about that scene is it really kind of shows that this isn't, regular human Jason. This is super strong Jason. He can absolutely punch someone's head off with that much force. One of my other favorites is actually sort of a 2-for-1. 2 words, sleeping bag. So this first shows up in, I believe it was 7, when he drags a woman outside in her
Out of the
sleeping
tent,
bag,
out of the tent, even just right through the tent.
drags her over to a tree, and just smack right across the tree, gone.
Done. Yeah.
And I love just the sheer brutality and just, snap death that was. That was fantastic. And again, in Jason in Space, they sort of call back to that. And I thought it was brilliant because
Oh,
he walks out.
specifically.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, he walks out into this holodeck, and they say he can't go home again, but obviously Jason can. He has these two women in their sleeping bags and starts, beating one of them. Ow!
With the
Smack!
other one.
Yeah, smack! Ow! Smack! Ow! Right against this tree. Done. Absolutely brilliant. Just so self-aware and so funny and brutal.
And my favorite moment of that is they cut back to the guy at the control panel, and he goes, "I thought he'd take longer," and she, the android, just goes, "He's good."
Yeah, he is good.
I think that pretty much sums it up, right? that scene up right there. He's good.
Yeah. Friday the 13th. How about them cookies?
Full moon too.
That's what they say.